Now, before moving into my second key lesson or takeaway from this course, I want to briefly sidestep and talk about a little bit of a thought experiment I engaged in on my various social media platforms and accounts that I have. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to ask my network on LinkedIn and my friends on Facebook what comes to mind when they see the word or the phrase digital democracy. And I got a few replies, and I want to share some of those replies with you. So the first replies I'm going to be looking at here are on LinkedIn. And the first one comes from Dallas Rathbone. Mr. Rathbone is an individual I play golf with from time to time. And he says when digital democracy, he thinks of online voting, streaming parliament, and access to information. And he also then followed that up by creating a scenario in which what if politicians actually had to develop and follow roadmaps as part of their platform, and we could track in real time progress towards goals, much like construction or software development projects. And that was something that I thought was really interesting, and something that I thought could be actually very interesting to see in terms of this progress politicians make, then them having to take a few step backs in order to maybe take those steps forward. Now, I think it would be a little bit difficult to actually be able to track progress, because when you're a politician, nothing is linear and nothing can be followed from A to B in a sequential type manner, because there are a lot of things that arise. So I'm not sure how that worked, but I thought it was definitely an interesting comment. Then we have Katie Winters, who is also a student at Acadia University, who is taking her Master's of Education at Acadia, someone I got to know very well during my time there. And she says when she hears the word digital democracy, she believes that it's when everyone has access to the internet and same information regardless of their socioeconomic status or location, i.e. folks in rural areas have less affordable access to the internet. And I think that that's something that's very important to note, and something that's very important to recognize, is that yes, there are individuals who have differing levels of access to information and access to these available services. And that's one of the things that I talked about actually when I updated my blog, was the knowledge problem, and what Frederick Hayek calls the fundamental issue within the market, and what separates those who have great fortune and separates those who don't have great fortune is that available access to information. Now, turning over here, we're going to look at Facebook, and I'm going to talk about one in particular comment that I had, and it's from Charles Douglas, who is also another individual who is graduating in politics here at Acadia. And he says he thinks of political participation seen through interacting, liking, commenting, sharing on social media with other people or companies' brands on these various social media platforms. And he also comments that people are not going out to vote, but rather sharing their political opinions on Facebook and Twitter, and then instead of actually voting, they'll complain later, or they'll complain beforehand, and they actually won't be exercising these democratic rights and really responsibilities that we have. And I think that that was also a very, very interesting comment. Now I'll move into some of the other key lessons I've had in this course.